So if you're like me, you don't really believe that Trump or the Trump administration is going to be able to get actual accountability done during his term as president. Um, and the accountability isn't coming fast enough. We've got the James Comey thing now, which might just be hot air, guys. You just don't know. There's going to be a lot of ways for him to get out of this. You know what I mean? I don't think we're going to see James Comey behind bars where he belongs for a significant period of time, if at all, right? And that pisses me off. I mean, I have to say the accountability thing is extremely important to me, right? Because my view is if these people who have caused all this havoc over the last 10 years and more, but let's concentrate on since the first Trump term till now, there are people within government, the deep state, leftist, people on the left that have committed crime after crime after crime, that have done things that are unthinkable if you think of what a democracy should function like. And they have never been held to account. Think of COVID. It's one of the things, right? There are some people that need to be held to account for COVID, for sure. And yet nothing is happening. So my hope that Trump is going to be able to make the changes that he promised he would make, what the accountability part is concerned, are dwindling. And it makes me angry. And sometimes I freak out about it. And I get pissed at Trump, but watching Mike Benz reminds me every time, it kind of humbles me in that case. Watching Mike Benz, makes me see once again what Trump is up against. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm going to put this video. It's an interview of Mike Benz with Tom Bilyeu. Now, Benz has done a lot of interviews everywhere, and any one of them is worth watching. But this one is long, and it really gets in deep of how the deep state has basically, basically made their shit legal and look like it's above board, right? The deep state is not a lie, people. It's not just a fiction or figment of your imagination or anything like that. It's a real thing. And what Donald Trump is up against, if he really is the kind of person that I think he is, the kind of president that I think he is, first of all, let's be real. No matter what happens, Trump has been the best president that people my age have ever seen in their lifetimes. I'm almost 50, okay? So I know the bar isn't super high. That'll be real. You got me there. You know what I'm saying? The bar is not super high, but Trump has been the best president both terms that I've ever seen in my life. And this term is like the first term on like mega steroids. So he's getting a lot of good shit done. All right. It looks like the tariffs thing is probably going to work out. Maybe a risky move. I'm not an economist. I have no fucking idea, but I don't really see the horror scenarios playing out that the people that were against the tariffs are saying are going to play out. Now, we'll see. I think the economic things take some time before they actually kick in. So it's hard to say whether or not it's a success or not, but it just looked like it is. Trump really is the master troll of the planet. Just to have him as the president, at the troll that he is, pissing off the Democrats and the left to where they're getting ready to tear out their hair. It's unbelievable, right? Just to have him as president for comedic effect only would be fine by me. And so if you look at the way that he handles these dumbass European politicians and the European rules around censorship and stuff, I think it's just hilarious. I think it's great. You know what I mean? I live here in Germany. These people are utterly incompetent and they need to be put in their place by an alpha. And that alpha is Donald Trump, and he's doing it. So there are a lot of things. I've missed a bunch of stuff probably. It looks like the economy is getting better. Another great thing about Trump is Trump has exposed the deep state and their media propaganda arm. You know what I'm saying? Trump has exposed that all. We all are wise to it now. He's exposing things that have happened that we all kind of thought, we kind of thought that was happening, but there was no way to be sure. Russiagate, for example. If they put James Comey in jail, hell, that's a great start, right? That's a great start. They're fighting back against the judges. They don't give a shit about the left. The thing that Trump has done with the border is unbelievable. And the fact that they're actually going in there against all, I know in some cases it looks bad, but hey, illegal aliens need to be removed from the country, whatever country it is. In this case, we're talking about America. So they need to go. they can try to come back in on legal status. They need to go for all kinds of reasons. And so, as sad as it is, they should thank the previous governments of the United States that have allowed this to happen, that made them promises that could never be kept, right? That can never be kept. And look, people, it's sometimes up to regular people to have some self-responsibility, right? If I get wind from my buddies that there's a democratic country out there that is suddenly giving away $1 million and lifetime guaranteed citizenship for every person that comes there to do an assigned job that they wanted to use to build up the country, right? Let's say they're going to rebuild Gaza, right? And it's a democratically elected government, and they promise, hey, you come live here, you can live here forever, you get $1 million starting fee, and you can do any of these jobs that we need done to rebuild the country. If you can do it, you're welcome. And you still, as an adult person with a brain, go there knowing that in a democratic country where people are elected, that the person that is the boss today can't make promises to you for what's going to happen when the new boss comes. You see, your boss at your company can also make you all these promises, but unless it's in writing, right? Unless it's in writing, and even then, in a country, that's difficult. In a company, you can sue. You know what I mean? But you're going to sue the government if they don't give you what somebody else promised long ago? That's insane. Right? That's insane. So people also have to think for themselves. So they're not really that big of victims. The fact is, they felt they broke the law. They came in the country. They were allowed to stay. They didn't get caught. And they felt, after a while, comfortable in their illegality. I know what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? I used to deal dope. After a while of dealing dope and not getting caught, I thought, wow, you know what I mean? I'm never going to get caught. So I got stupid. And I got way too easy. And eventually I got busted. All right? So, look, those illegals all have to go. And why it might look bad, you know what I'm saying, for the news cameras and news TV, and the Democrats are around going, oh, fascism, blah, blah, blah. Even the Europeans, because the Europeans are basically all Democrats, especially the politicians. They're all, oh my God, what they're doing there is amazing. It's cruel and crazy and it can't be done. Well, they know that most of the people in their countries want what Donald Trump is doing here. We need to get rid of all the Islamists in this country that were just let in, no vet, no nothing. Somebody needs to do it. They're not going to do it. So the people are looking at Donald Trump going, oh, that's fucking finally somebody who's doing something. But the politicians don't want that. And they don't want to do it. Right? So as bad as it might look and as bad as they can frame it, what Donald Trump is doing for America is the right thing to do. Illegals out. You know what I'm saying? Criminal or not, doesn't matter if they broke the law again after coming in, all this nuanced bullshit. No, they all got to go. They all got to go. Right? And shutting down the border completely, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, I think Trump needs to go harder at the sanctuary cities, at the criminals in Congress and the Senate, at the politicians that were responsible for the Russiagate shit, the CIA, the deep state people. He needs to go after them all. The NGOs, all that shit's got to go. But hey, USAID is gone. You know, I know that sounds trivial. I know we're already over it. Like, okay, well, USA, all right, good one. What's the next thing? Epstein files? Who's getting arrested? I get it. It needs to be done. But the reason why, and sorry, I want to back up just a second. The getting rid of USAID is epic. It has cut a lot of these so-called democratic institutions and NGOs off at the fucking knees, right? It's cut them off at the knees, right? And I think the Trump administration is going to go after more of these things, more of these NGOs, maybe after Soros. I really think they should do it all, right? But I don't think that Trump is the problem why it's not happening, right? And if you watch this interview with Mike Benz, who talks about the inner workings of this deep state, he knows. He was at the State Department, right? He knows what he's talking about. He's got the receipts. He's got the data. He can explain it much better than me, which is why I'm going to link this video down below so you can watch it. You have to watch it, especially if you're like me and think, God damn, this accountability shit is taking forever, man. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? You know, there's two things. One, we're only in the first year. There's 3 to go. They've already done a lot this year. We got to be honest, okay? They've already done a lot. All right. And there are things that the administration has done that I'm not a fan of. And there are things the administration is doing right now that I think, what the fuck's going on? This is exactly the opposite of what Donald Trump said he wanted to do. But the problem, guys, is Donald Trump is not the CEO of America. He is not the king. So he's got a shitload of people that work under him that are making a bunch of daily decisions about all kinds of shit that he doesn't even know is going on, right? He doesn't even know it. You know what I mean? And so he can't you can't expect the guy to single-handedly dismantle this deep state that has been festering, this swamp that has been festering for, north of 50 years, maybe 100 years or more, and you can't expect Donald Trump to just come in and rip it all apart all by himself. He's going to need help. Not only that, he's going to need administrations after he's gone that are going to carry out his legacy of doing this. So it's very important for the American people to continue to vote MAGA candidates into office. You can't ever let Democrats have power again. You just can't. You can't. In our generation, while we're still alive, these people have proven to be nothing but scumbags, evil, dumb, incompetent, and totally against everything the middle class of people who are actually working to pay the bills in the country want. They're crazy. They're lunatics. And the reason you can see that is they're not even changing course now that they got their ass handed to them in the election. They're not changing course even now. So they're insane. And they will weaponize the law against their political opponents over and over again. The people, including the politicians. You can't let them have power again. But you've got to continue to vote in people that are MAGA, that are Make America Great Again. They're focused on America, the bettering of America, and who cares about what other countries and other places on the planet think about that? That's the kind of candidate you need in office from here on out for the next 20 years if you want to really get rid of this deep state problem. I mean, Mike Benz lays it out so clearly that after watching that, it's kind of blackpilling. I'm going to say that up front. It is blackpilling. But it's also an amazing reminder of what Donald Trump, the man, is up against, right? Of course, he's got a better team behind him now than he did the first run around, but there's even part of that team. Pam Bondi, for example, is not interested in accountability for the crimes of all these people. Russiagate, fucking COVID, you name it. The Twitter files bullshit where the government was censoring AutoPen shit. All that shit is just a lot of talk. We haven't seen anything happen. Why? Because Pam Bondi didn't do anything about it. Only Pam Bondi did anything about James Comey because Donald Trump sent a tweet out saying, hey, yo, get your ass in gear. The time is about to run out on these motherfuckers. Hook it up. Indict that motherfucker. And lo and behold, 2 days later, it's there. So you see, basically to get this done, Donald Trump has got to involve himself in every little aspect of the government. And you can't expect him to do that. It's not going to happen. You need to make a culture in government of all new people. So it's great that a bunch of people are getting fired and a bunch of people are quitting themselves. Great, get the fuck out. No problem. We need ideologically free motherfuckers in government doing the job. That they don't have an ideology they're following over their job description, right? That's what you need. If the job description, because President A is in there, President A says, yo, this is the direction we're going. Everybody in the government needs to go that direction because that's the boss, just like in a normal company. It's just that simple, right? It's just that simple. And all these ideologues and activists and all these people need to get the fuck out. Simple as that. It's the reason why I don't want religious government. I don't want religion mixed up with government because I don't want an ideology influencing the rules that are made for me. I don't want any ideology making rules for me. Okay? I'm totally against that. So, as pissed off as I sometimes get that it's not going fast enough, some of the things, right? I just remind myself, Mike Benz, the deep state. That's not a joke, people. This shit is unbelievable, right? It's unbelievable. When you listen to this interview, if you've never heard this guy talk before, I would get a couple drinks or a joint or something and hook yourself up because you are going to be black-pilled for a while after that, right? You are going to be black-pilled for a while after that because you're going to go, how the fuck is Donald Trump supposed to do this by himself? He's not going to be able to. So that's why you got to cut the dude a little slack. You know, every arrest that we see from here on out is a win. Every change to the structure of the swamp is a win. Every fired person, every person that leaves their job in government is a win. You know what Pete Hegseth is doing with the military? No more fat fucking bastards. Great. Great. No more trannies in the military. Great. That's not what the military is for. Go work in a fucking drag club. You know what I'm saying? But you can't read stories to kids anymore either. So I don't know. Maybe that's not going to be so fun either. So look, there's a lot of awesome things that are happening. And people like me focus on the big booms. Like I want to see the boom. I want to see motherfuckers in handcuffs and being dragged out of their house like they did to Roger Stone and shit. And I hope we're going to see it. I hope we're going to see it. But it may take longer than Trump. It's going to take an all of government change in mentality, a change in the way they look at things, a focus not on their own personal pockets, what other countries want and think, foreign aid to this and that. Their focus is not going to be on specific groups and specific dynamics. Their focus should be on all of America, and that's what all of the government employees should have in their heads first and foremost. But it's going to take time to switch those people out and get the right people in. It's not going to be as easy as Donald Trump walking in there going, I'm the prez, yo, everybody get in line. You know, it just doesn't work like that. I wish it did. It's just not gonna. Because this monster is bigger than Trump, right? And he can only fight it with help. And he's got some help, but he's not being helped by enough people right now. There are still too many people working against him. We got to give him the credit. We got to give him a little bit of time. And we do have to look at the wins that he's given and the wins to come. Right now, I would rather Donald Trump be president of the United States than anybody else because he's having a positive effect on the politicians all over the world, right? Basically, Donald Trump is protecting the people of Germany and the people of Europe by going against the EU on this fucking EU censorship bullshit, right? He's not finalizing the trade deal until something is done about that shit. That goes completely against the EU's wishes. They want to be able to control everything and everybody. And they're pissed. Now, will Trump be able to make him do it? I don't know, but no other president's ever tried. You know what I mean? No other president's ever tried. So Donald Trump is fighting for me here in Germany and getting results that I can tangibly see here in Germany more than the politicians here in Germany are doing, which is insane. It's insane. So every time you guys get bogged down and think, fuck, man, god damn, man, Donald Trump didn't want to do this shit. He does. I think that, like I said, Trump is not the problem. If Trump was the king, you know how many people would be locked up right now? You know what I'm saying? They'd all be gone. James Comey, Brennan, the whole fucking deep state, the shit would be just gone. He would just go, hey, everybody's gone. That's it. It's over. Arrest them and them and them. I don't care what they did. You know what I'm saying? But he's not. Too many people are in high power positions within the government of the United States that make decisions that Trump never hears about, that make decisions that Trump never finds out about. And even if he does find out about 90% of them, they'll be wished away and squished away in some sort of package that Trump's not going to be able to tell. Is that real? Is it not real? Because should I believe him? Should I not? And he can't involve himself in every little aspect. It's just not going to. How the fuck could you? You can't. So I really recommend, guys, watch this episode of Tom Bilyeu, Impact Theory, interviewing Mike Benz. I'll link it where I can. Some of the video platforms like TikTok will not allow a link, so you're going to have to look it up. Tom Bilyeu, Impact Theory, Mike Benz. You'll find it on YouTube. And get ready to get a little bit depressed, but hey, I got over it. You'll get over it and put a little bit more faith and trust in Donald Trump. And he's the only guy that can do it, man. You know what I mean? Right now. Hopefully J.D. Vance takes the torch after him. Right now, I don't see anybody better. You know what I mean? J.D. Vance is the guy, man. I think he's going to be even tougher than Trump. So concentrate on that. Don't fucking write Trump off, even though sometimes you do get pissed off that things go so slowly. But there's reasons for it. And those reasons you're going to find out when you watch this interview. So don't miss it. I'll put it down below. Mike Benz, Tom Bilyeu, Impact Theory. Check it out.